Are these not the most adorable things you've ever seen? These are the Stamperia Furry Friends collection. And what I've done is construct a beautiful little mini ledger pad that you can make using these furry friends, whether it be cat or dog. We have all kinds of pretty little fellas to work with. So I'm going to instruct you of how to make this book. A wide assortment of them, and the directions are the same. You'll find they all have the exact same type of products inside of them, just different colors and different prints. So let's get started making one of these beautiful little kits. It was hard to decide whether or not to do a cat or a dog one for our video today, but since I had already done the dog, I thought I would go ahead and do a kitty cat one. Notice that the book is constructed like so. It has a flap that goes up, has a pocket up here that holds your tags. It has another pocket down here at the bottom that holds the pad so that you can change it. When you feel you run out of paper, you can put another pad in. Now, I used an extra embellishment or two on mine just for the photography part, but for the basic instruction, I'm going to show you how we make this. So for today's project, we're going to do the cat. They are packaged like this because you have on the front the embellishments that I've chosen and the printed papers from Stamperia's Furry Friends, and on the back are your printed paper mats, your ribbon. So everything is included up here that changes per kit. What we have in the box stays consistent and the same. And when you finish making your book, it all fits nicely into your box so you can give it as a nice little gift. What a wonderful idea for Christmas, birthdays, any occasion. So I'm going to put the box out of the way. And we're going to look at our little ephemera here. The gray piece of paper that's inside this pack is just there to hold the pieces in place and to let you see what's in there, because if you see me at a show, you can select the one you want. However, if you order one, you're going to get potluck. If you say cat, I'll send you cat. If you want bird, I'll send you bird. If you want dog, I'll send you dog. But this is the cat one I chose for today. So I don't need my little pad for right now. Also in your kit, you're going to find a cutting guide like this one. This is not the final draft, so yours may look a little different, no borders. But it has your measurements of what I have cut and put in here, and approximate sizes of what I have put there. Sometimes they change out depending on the papers, so use your own thought there as to what fits your book. But the measurements that are here are what is in this. And you can duplicate your little kit by using your cutting guide. It's just there for you to have reference for duplication purposes. You don't really need to cut anything for this particular kit. It's a very nice little complete project kit. So we're going to take everything out of our package. And we're going to see that we have some chipboard, some pretty heavy chipboard. This is going to be our foundation for the book, just so that you get an idea of what we're going to make. This is how it folds out. So we're going to cover this, and cover this separately. Then join them together and put across the inside of it a piece to unite them together. Okay? So just wanted to give you a heads up as to what we're going to be doing there. These pieces are mats. I used blue in all of them. I think this particular shade of blue works with every single kit. So it just was a nice one to work with, and I thought that would be a uniform pattern. Then these are your pocket pieces. You'll notice they're already scored for you at a 1/2 inch. They're scored, the long pocket for your pad is scored on the 2 long sides and the short side. The short pocket on the top is scored on the 2 short sides and 1 long side. So we're going to set those to the side. I like to go gently and smoothly here so that you can kind of get an idea of what we're going to do. This is the covers for our chipboard. Normally I leave an inch border around my chipboard, but I did not in this particular case. You don't need that much bulk overlapping. So this is what we're going to be doing, is covering this piece and this piece and this piece. So if you have double stick adhesive, you can cover this. If you just have glue, you can use it and adhere it down. You can also use double stick tape. Now, let me grab my double stick tape. Don't you just hate it when you organize and you can't find anything? Okay, I've got my double stick tape here. I'm going to pull out some 1/4 inch tape. And I'm going to pull out some of my glue. I use art glitter glue. You can use whatever you choose. But I'm going to go ahead and put double stick tape around the edges of my chipboard. And then I'm going to fill in with glue and slap that onto my cover here. Yeah, we're diving right in, guys. Let's not waste any time. I'm going to use a score tool or a burnishing tool to smooth that out. Pull my backings off. Yeah, I pull the backings off before I add the glue. Okay, let's add some glue on here. A little bit around the edges. And then I'm going to smooth it with my finger, just a smidgen. Okay. And drop it so that I get stickiness all over. Notice on your paper, this is a linen side. This is a smooth side. I'm going to take the chipboard and attach it down onto the smooth side so that the linen side is what's going to be on the outside. And then I'll just run my burnishing tool over that. Let me grab a wipe. Wipe this off before I get it all over my project. That's not happened to you, has it? Such an evil laugh. Okay, and see now my linen cardstock is adhered to my chipboard. And I can just slowly work the paper fibers by wrapping them around the chipboard. If you've done my other kits, you know how to do this. I know that, but I got to do it for the new folks, guys. All right, we're working on it. This is not going to be a long video, I promise. You'll be happy you got this little kit. You get a lot for your bang for your buck. So I'm going to wrap this over and smooth it down with my scoring tool. On both ends as well. All right, now I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to put it around the inside of my chipboard on this side. Come back here. All right. Now smooth that down. If you don't do this, the tape doesn't hold very well, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and miter my corners before I pull that cover off of the tape, just to keep it from getting messy. I leave about 1/8 of an inch to 1/16 of an inch from the corners, if you can see. And round those like that. Pull the backing off. And then I'm going to take my glue. Oops, I missed a little backing there. And I'm going to put it in the crease, just a little bit there. And a little bit to fold that over. And then work that on the long side and press it down well. The tape will help hold it until the glue dries, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and smooth that down. Then I'm going to turn it around to the other side Do the same thing. Press it over. There we go. Hold it down. Now, before I do my two ends, now I've got a rag here that I use to take off excess glue because I'm very messy. And I'm going to tilt it up on its end, and I'm going to score that down so that it has a nice flat edge there. See, that makes it nice and flat. I'm not too worried about the glue showing because when I get done, I'm going to cover that. So I'm not too concerned. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. Put a little bit of glue on. I changed tables, and this one doesn't have a cutting mat on it, so I'm making a mess. I'm not used to the paper sliding like it is. Usually it's on a cutting mat, which means it doesn't go anywhere. It stays gripped to the table, or to the mat, I should say. All right. Now I've got that down. I'm going to score that and score that. Now, that's one piece already ready to go. Now, let's go off camera, do the other one, and while I'm off camera, you do yours. Now that we've gotten both of our covers done, let's do the spine piece. It's a little trickier, so let's see what we can do with it. We're going to take it and we're going to put our double stick tape on it, onto the chipboard here. Yes, I could use wider, but I just didn't have any right handy. And once I get that on, I'm going to pull the backing off. I do like to use both tape and glue on my spine pieces because I think it helps secure it just a little bit better. Now, you do not want to get tape or glue on the sides, okay? But you're going to lay it down with about a 1/2 inch on either side, right in the middle or close to it, okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and crease that over. Press it down firmly. Firmly. Yes, I'm from the South. Okay, roll this over. Press that down. Okay, so what I have is this, okay? It's folded like that. So now I'm going to take a little bit of my tape and I'm going to put it across this and put it across this. See, this is not real hard, guys. This is real simple. I'm just trimming off my extra tape there. Okay, I'm going to flatten it down. Make sure it holds. Then I'm going to take my glue. Let me pull in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm gluing in that crease. Just like that. And pulling it over and pressing it down. Here and here. Now, I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite end. I'm going to pull the tape backing off, put the glue in, fold that over, press it down. Hopefully I was in frame. If I wasn't, I apologize. I thought I was. I forgot I reduced the screen. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to miter from the spine over just a hair. Just like that. That's going to give me a little bit of extra room to overlap my front and back covers. So I've got an angle like that. Just a little bit of an angle here, a little bit of an angle there. And then I'm going to press down firmly on that edge, make it nice and square. Excellent. And then I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to start working my paper back and forth like this. I want that to be a nice crease there. That's going to be what makes my book work. I'm going to do it on both sides. See what I'm doing? Doing it on both sides there. So I'm making a nice crease on both of those. Then I'm going to turn it like this, and I'm going to take my tape, and I'm going to put it 1/4 of an inch from my crease and towards the edge. Turn it around, put it 1/4 of an inch from this side. Again on the edge here. Smooth that down. Okay, and then I'm going to pull that off like that. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. The book is coming together. Take one of my covers, and you can put it in a scoreboard to line this up, but I'm pretty sure you can do it by just eyeballing it. Sometimes I'll use the edge of the table. Oh, that looks very good. And now I'm going to press it down, and see it stands nice and flat on both sides. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Pull this backing off. Put a little bit of glue in there. Try to keep away from that crease line. Put your other backing on there. I'm sorry, I got to get my head in the shot. There we go. Press that down. And look, you have the beginnings of your little book. So now that we've completed the book, we're going to cover the inside. And you're going to do that with a piece that I provided you. It is on here, spine cover. Let's see, inside booklet cover. 3 1/4 inch by 11 7/8 inch, scored at 5 1/2 and 6 1/4. So I've pre-scored that for you. And if you look, I want the smooth side down, so my linen side is out. And the reason why one side is a little bit longer, this side's just a fraction of an inch longer, because when your paper is adhered down, it's going to scoot just a little bit. So we're going to start with the short side first, okay? And we're going to glue it to this side. Yep, that looks good to me. And I'm going to, let's put it down with a little bit of tape in the middle. I'm going to start with this middle piece right here. And I'm going to put some tape in the middle. Press down a little bit to hold it. Pull this up. I'm going to add my glue right next to the tape. Okay. I'm going to turn it over onto my book. And I'm going to adhere it right in the center, kind of keeping it even. Just like that. Now, on this side, I'm going to fold that over. I'm going to add some tape here. I'm going to add some tape here. Trim that because I cut it too far. Pull this off, pull this off. Add my glue so it slides. I want it to slide. Don't get it near the edge there because you want it to crease and you want it to bend when you open your book. So I'm going to take that now and lay it down flat. Score it so it smooths out. Now, bend that, train it a little bit. See, now it's folding nicely. This back piece is actually going to be on the back of your book. And you're going to have the pocket on top of it. Now, you're going to see that it's just a hair too long on this one, depending on how you bind your book, okay? If you left more room from here, from that spine piece to this cover, and from that spine piece to that cover, it might be a little long or it might be a little short. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim that just a hair, because on mine it's just a little long. So let me get a trimmer. Sorry for the noise. Had to find a little trimmer. Okay. And I'm going to trim about 1/8 of an inch off of that. Let's try that. If I cut it too short, guys, you might be too short and show your cardboard or your chipboard. So I don't want it to be too short. I'd rather it be a little long, so you have to trim it. Good. Now it will hold, and I'm going to turn it over like this. I'm going to put my tape on it. And my tape here. And then I'm going to add my glue. And if you don't trim it, it's nothing really bad. You can use scissors to trim it, because you're going to put a pocket over top of this. But I'm going to do that now and kind of straighten it up just a smidgen. It looks a little bit crooked to my eyes. There we go. And then bend it. Straighten it up, and voila, I've got my cover and my inside done. It's that easy, guys. Then we're going to take our pocket to hold the little pad of paper. Again, it's scored for you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to miter a 45-degree angle cut across where it's mitered in the corners, just like that. And I'm going to miter up here at the top. This helps your pad of paper slide in very well. Now I'm going to bend this over and use my score pad. Notice I'm keeping my linen side out. So when I score it, I'm folding in towards the smooth part. Guys, these are not hard to make. You can make a book in about 15 minutes and then spend an hour decorating it. So that's what you're wanting right there. Now, again, I'm going to do a dry fit to see how it fits on my book here. Looks good. I'm going to take my pad and make sure. See, it's going to go all the way up to the end of the pad here. So it can go just like that. I'm going to pull it down just a smidgen, but you can put it wherever you like. I'm going to take it now and put my tape on there as well. This double stick tape, I tell you, is the bomb. I go through a great deal of it. Sometimes I go through 2 rolls. Love this stuff. I was asked which size I use the most. I personally, when I'm working on my own projects, I use 3/8 of an inch. But 1/4 of an inch is a little bit cheaper. So if you're on a budget, the 1/4 inch will work. If you have excess, go ahead and snip that off, because if you don't, it'll catch your pad and it won't slide down in there very well. Now I'm pulling this back off. Okay, I'm going to stick some glue on here. Just a little bit extra so it'll slide. Give me a little extra wiggle room, and it will give me a little extra binding power. Okay. And I had to have a sip of something to drink, sorry. Oh, I got glue on my pocket. Oh, well. I'm going to sit it right down here at the bottom. That looks great. Hopefully yours comes out looking just as sharp. Excellent. Then we're going to put the little pocket up at the top. Okay? So to put the little pocket at the top, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to miter our little corners. I've got tape on my scissors, of course. Fold, burnish, fold, burnish. One more time, fold, burnish, add some more tape, Is this not quick and easy, guys? And yes, you can tape it before you miter it, and that way you can cut off the excess tape. I'm just a little chintzy. I don't put that much tape on here, so. Smooth, 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 and then put my glue on. Are you getting the hang of it? Not hard, is it? I'm going to add a little bit of glue here and here, because I do want it to stay on the book. And then I'm going to add this. Now, this is the pocket that holds our notepad like this. I'm going to go up here on the top part of my book and add this pocket. Oh, that looks lovely. And if I didn't have glue on my fingers, it'd be even better. I know y'all laugh at me. That's okay. It's all in fun. Excellent. Now I've got that pocket down. I can slide this in here if I want. Just like that. We are ready to decorate this bad boy. Is that not cool? You've already got your book made in less than 15 minutes, guys. So now let's open up our little packet here and see what we have in there. All right, we just need this back side to start with. Okay, just get out these back pieces. The cat pieces I'm going to leave on the front for just a minute. And, oh, that's a pretty piece of paper, isn't it? It's going to go like that. This piece is going to go on the inside like that. Okay? But now you also had in your kit some blue pieces as well. Remember those? We're going to use those as well. This blue piece is going to go underneath my front picture. So it's going to pop up on that. So I'm going to take this piece. Oh, I love that paper. Oh, it's gorgeous. And I'll tell you, if you want to distress the edges of this, it makes it very handsome, and you're welcome to do that. But for the video, I'm going to skip that part. I just use a little bit of a brown or light tan ink and put that around the edges of it. If you want to tear those edges and really distress it, you can. But what I'm doing right now is just adding that matte to the front. That's simple. Okay? And then I'm going to take this inside piece, and I'm going to take this and put it on top of this. So I have my blue matte. It goes even with the bottom of your pocket here, okay? That way it leaves an 1/8 of an inch matte around the edges, okay? So I'm going to glue that down. Leaving an 1/8 of an inch around the edges, but smooth at the bottom. And if you got your pocket on there crooked, this is your chance to straighten it just a little with your mat. And then I'm going to glue this piece inside of that one. Now, it's a single-sided piece because Stamperia makes a packet of paper, 8 by 8 or 12 by 12, and some of them can be double-sided pages or they can be single-sided. I get more use out of the single-sided. I don't have to waste the pretty picture on the back every time. So your papers are probably the single-sided, so you don't get a choice on most of them, okay? So I'll burnish that down. There's my pocket. Now I'll go back to the front, and I'm going to pull out my little pieces here. Now you're saying, what about that other blue piece? Well, it's going to go right there. We're going to take these pieces out now, and I'm going to take my little kitty cat here, and I'm going to put this piece onto my blue. I'm going to glue it down flat. You can do this any way you want to. If you want to distress the edges, you want to add ribbons or borders or whatever, go for it. But I'm doing a real simple one here. So, and if this piece is not cut to your liking, You don't like the white mat, or it's not cut evenly for you, trim it. Make it work for you. Now, what I am going to do at this moment is use some double stick tape as soon as I find it here. And I'm going to put that on the bottom, or actually on the back side of this, so I can pop this pretty picture up. Let me see if I got that too long. I did. I sure did. That's what I get for tearing it instead of cutting it. There we go. And this is just one suggestion. You can do it any way you want. But I like things to pop a little bit. So now I'm going to put it just on here like that. Oh, I love those colors. Love it. Then, if you'll notice on Stamperia, their ephemera has a little sheen. Okay? Sometimes I use double stick tape to put the pieces out so I can work with them. But on the ephemera, they usually have an adhesive backing. Now, I'm not crafty enough to be able to pull that backing off most of the time. But if you're good at separating it like that, you don't have to worry about gluing it down, because the adhesive backing will come off. And this is where my pokey tool would come in handy, isn't it? And I can just stick it down flat. Now, if you like it to pop up, leave the backing on and pop it up. I think I'm going to just go ahead and pull the backing off just to show you that it can be removed. And I'm going to stick it just like that. Love the kitty cat. Love it. Now, also in my packet, I have some tags, which I went ahead and punched the holes in for myself. And I've got some flowers. I think I'll put this "Have Fun" right up there instead of on the inside. I think that would be kind of cool. But instead of pulling the backing off, I'm going to cut a piece of foam tape and make it pop up. So let me get a piece of foam tape here and pop that up. You have that choice, folks, whichever way you want to do it. I can either put it down here. I think I'll put it up here. I like it. There we go. And on the inside, I got 2 more pieces of blue. One goes up here as a little mat. You can also add it to right here. The other piece will go across your spine right there. Or you may want to use the piece that I included, which has some pretty print on it. Oh, this is a double one. There you go. I think I'll put that one right there. That would be pretty. I like that. So I'm going to put that right there. Am I out of frame? Of course. I'm going to put it over my spine just to give it a little bit of color. But I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this other blue one right here on top of my pad. Right in, there's the same size, so I'm going to put it right on the top of my little pad there. There we go. And this one I'm going to put right up here on the very top. I think it kind of balanced the page a little bit. You can pop it up or you can put it down flat. I'm just going to put it down flat so that it gives a little bit of color up there. Nice. And then I'm going to take I've got some other decorative things here, but I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to poke it through there. Let's see, how do I want to do it? I want to take it from the back, I guess, and poke it through. Pull my ends back through. Now, I personally don't care if the white shows. I kind of like that. But if you want to trim the edges of your tag, you can do that. The other thing you can do, if you don't want to do a loop-de-loop like I did, take it and tie a knot. Bring it to the front. See, I pulled it to the back, and I should have brought it to the front. There we go. And tie a little bow. It just depends on what taste you have, whether you want a bow or a loop there. Either one will really look cute. I'll do one of each. How's that sound? Except that I'm all thumbs and cannot get my fingers to work. There we go. We got it. We got a little bow of some kind on there. Alrighty. And then I'm going to stick it right there. Now, I also got in my packet, each packet has different ephemera or die cuts. I got some little flowers. I can put this here, or I can put it down here, or I can put it on the front cover here. Wow. Where do you think I ought to put it? I kind of like it on the front cover, but let's dress up this inside a little bit. I think I'll put it right over here. So I'm going to pop it up on the inside. And yes, it has adhesive backing, I know, but I want to pop it up on here. I think it'll be prettier. And that'll give me a splash of extra color. Won't this make a nice little gift for somebody? Is that not cute? Then you have some gems. These are adhesive gems. I want to put 2 of them on the inside on my pocket. On my pad of paper to kind of give it a nice finished look. And then I'm going to put 1 right here in the corner. And the other one I'm going to put right up there. Now, folks, that is cute. That is really, really cute. If you want to add additional embellishments, you go right ahead. I'm just thrilled that it's such an easy project and you get to make these over and over again. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you enjoyed making my kits. You'll have to check out all the new kits. I've got new ones coming out. Calendar kits, another ledger pad that's a little bit larger. It's a 4x6 instead of a 3.5x5. So check out the new Stamperia papers and I hope to see you the next time. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great evening.